Hello everyone and welcome to our first mini online class. Today we're going to do it over OBS. OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software and it is free to download and it's really nice. You can do live stream or you just do recording for those who are trying to do your online business or do some type of recording software. This may be an option for you. So today I'm going to do a brief overview of how to use it and give you the general terms and ideas of how to properly operate it. So no further ado, I'll be right back. Okay, so this is OBS. This is your home screen, you could say. Right now, as you can see, for the mic, you can see me talking. You can see how loud it can get. Hopefully I'm loud enough you guys can hear. And not too loud where you're just like, oh my God, I gotta turn this down. And then you got our desktop audio. Right now it's not going to activate because there's no sound playing from the computer whatsoever. But if I play with the volume key, let's see what happens. And so you guys might be able to hear it, others may not, but you can see it is making a dingy noise. So, like I said, this is your home screen, and this is where you're going to go to download it. You'll go to obsprojects.com. If you have been here before, they have changed some things. This screen used to not to be like this. And back in the day, we had OBS Classic with the first version. And now we have Studio with the second version. And now they stuck with Studio because it's a little bit better. It got more features that Classic did not have or couldn't properly run. But like I said, it's free and it's open source. Video recording and live streaming software. You can use it for the Mac, Windows, or Linux. I'm going to scroll down. You can see the little features. And you are more welcome to go to the website and check it out for yourself. If I'm moving too fast, I apologize. But this is just to give you a rough idea of what you can and cannot do. And like I said, you can live stream. So for those who like playing games, you can live stream to Twitch or YouTube or Facebook or Twitter. But if you're going for, let's say, a business, ladies, and show how to apply makeup. And you can do broadcast it, live stream, or you can make a video of it and then make your edits that you need. Because you might mess up or something fell or what have you. So it's not just for gaming. You can do it for whatever reason you wanted to use it for. Like I said, the people who made OBS are trying to make it as professional and nice looking as best as they can so you can have a cheaper alternative versus going out and paying 40, 50 plus or hundreds of dollars for a software that may be a little bit a learning curve than it should be. Oh, I'm not saying OBS is easy, but I'm saying they do kind of make it as easy as they can. So for to download it, since I'm using Windows, I would say Windows 7 Plus, and I get the full download instructions for it. I can save and then, download, install it. Well, let's say some reason you got this screen and you were just Googling it and you got this one. It's the same thing. Right now, Windows highlighted in blue, so therefore again the Windows. And this is the January version of it. Then of course I can click on the Mac, get the Mac version, and again with the Linux version. And also, if you need help, there is a help section. You got tutorials, community chat, forums. Anything you can think of you may need help on or want to ask is all right here. And the tutorial is it's not that bad. I've gone over it a few, and they are actually worth looking up if you really need a pick-me-up. But you guys can go to the forums as well, and they got resources, and then you can also go down here, right here, guides. And with that, you can read here how to do your guides and find out how to do what you need to do. Granted, some are current guides, and there's some guides that are more towards the older ones. But you just need to go through, pick through it, and you should find a useful guide. If not, I'm sorry, just gotta dig some more. But luckily, I already did that for you, so I already got a few guides already that I got from the forums and reworded them some so it'd be more easier to read. And you guys can use these to kind of help you out. And I'm also gonna go over some of them already when I show you how to use OBS. So that's not gonna be as hard. So, no further ado, let's learn about OBS. So you get your scenes, you get your sources, your mixers, your screen transitions, and your control. And this bad boy right here is all in black. It's your canvas. And me, it's best that you go to tools and do auto configuration wizard. Yes, it's in beta, but doing it this way, you can optimize your stuff already before you have to do it yourself. So right now, I'm gonna optimize it for recording. I'm gonna hit next. And to base my canvas resolution, it's gonna be based off of my resolution that my computer or laptop can handle. But you can also change it down. It's just I'm using 2 monitors right now. I got display 1 and display 2. And I can tell my frame rate per second. That's what FPS stands for, frame rate per second. And I can change it up out accordingly. And you kind of want to go over these sometimes, because sometimes you can do higher frame rates, but it doesn't mean the site that you're posting or uploading to can. So sometimes, especially your streaming, so there are a lot of times you may get blurry or loading symbols because of that. So you gotta play with your frame rate per second. And once everything's set up and say, oh yeah, it's good, it's work, hit apply, and you're good. You already set up. The hard part has already been taken care of to extend. So let's go to settings. I can go to settings over here, I can go to settings up here. Let's go over here. So now this is our settings. And we're not in general. When you first get it, I forgot to mention, your theme, when you first get it, it's going to be this theme right here. Oops, I lied. It won't be default. All nice and white. But white hurt my eyes and it's too bright, so I like to do dark. And plus, for some reason, the dark theme looks kind of nicer. But that's my opinion. You can choose whatever theme you want, and I believe you can download some different themes through the forum. So once you get to your general, you can change your language to what language you prefer to read it in. Then your output, you can change this up. You can set up an automatic record when streaming. And this is nice because let's say you're streaming and somehow you lost your stream or your bit rate was kind of off, so therefore your stuff was pixelated while you were streaming. And with this way, you can already have an automatic recording version of it, so you can take down your old one and upload your new one from the record and that will kind of help you or save you per se. But make sure you have enough space on your computer to hold all your videos. The source alignment snapping, you really don't need to play with this per se. All this does is when you have more than one sources up here and when you line it up and how you move it around. I prefer the default because it doesn't bother me, but for you might need to change it up based off what you're doing. Then you got projectors. Again, you don't have to use this. You don't have to. If you do, go for it. If you don't worry about it. System tray, it's alright. This is pretty much a system tray over here. You can enable it, you can minimize it, you can do whatever you want with it. Then you got studio mode. And studio mode is not bad. I like the layout, how they do it. But again, you don't really need to mess with this unless you're going to have a lot of scenes with sources and you're going back and forth. So, it's all about general. You said general, you don't really have to mess with it unless you really need to. Now stream, this is where you're going to put in your sources that you're going to stream to. You go to screen type, and you can choose the first one if need be. Use the first one, have all the common ones that a lot of people would normally stream to. If yours is not there, then you choose custom stream server, and you can put in the URL version of it that the stream has. Oddly enough, oh here it is, show all services. This is what I meant to say. When you get stream service, do all services. If you don't see your normal one, here's a lot more. But some of these are more foreign areas and not the US, but that's okay. You can stream wherever, how you want to stream it to. But if you are going to custom service, so like Facebook Live, this is where you can do the Facebook aspect, URL, then the stream key they give you. And pro tip, when you do this, never show your stream key or share it to anybody. Why? With that information, they can stream to your channel or station that you're using and pretend to be you. So never share your stream key to anybody. It's just treat it like your password and just don't share it. But that's what you gotta do in stream. Then make sure you hit down here and apply. Same goes in general. Everything you change, go ahead and apply if you need to. And if for some reason you messed up and you really messed up when you start changing your stuff, my advice is to uninstall and reinstall and start over. Now your output. You can do simple or you can do advanced. I say stick with simple. If you don't know your output that well, then your best bet is to stick with simple. It's not as bad and it works. But your video bit rate. You need to know your bit rate ratio. And that's going towards the site that you're streaming with. If you're doing it through Wi-Fi, you may want your bit rate going a lot lower because Wi-Fi is not that great. If you're doing hardwired, then you can go higher. Then on top of that, the site that you're using, they use different forms of bit rate. So just in case you can do the maximum, doesn't mean it's a good idea because then other people who are trying to tune in may not be able to do the maximum and see your video. So you got to find that happy medium when you change your bit rate. And your recording software is fine. Your bitrate audio you can change it accordingly, but you don't need to go too low or too high. 160 is usually the average. And you can also enable this and change this up too. But again, that's best if you know what you're doing to do. Then recording, like I said, this is very simplified. So I can say, hey, record it to my videos. Usually it does. Or I can hit browse, and I can tell it where to go. I want to save it to my desktop, or I want to save it to my pictures or music or what have you. Then hit OK. Junior volume. I can click that if I want to. It does not matter. I got my setup for high quality, medium file size. I do the same as stream. So if my stream kind of messed up, then therefore my video going to be kind of messed up. So high quality is pretty good. And you can change it up accordingly, but each one you change that will get bigger and bigger. So high quality, medium file size is pretty decent. Then of course I can change the format. So I can change to MP4. But the problem with MP4 is I get this warning. And if something happened during my stream or my recording, I lose everything. That's not good. But if I leave it at FLV, everything is going to be fine. So if something happens to my recording, it's still there. Wherever it stopped at, that's where it stopped, and I can still review and see it and everything else. And your encoder right here, don't worry about it. Custom settings, again, don't worry about it. The only thing you're going to be changing or messing with in recording, which like I said, will be video format going to be at and what type of format you're going to use. FLV is alright. MP4 is okay. Just make sure whatever software you have that can modify or read or edit your videos, it can do it. Like Movie Maker, it don't use FLV, it uses MP4 and a few others, but it's okay. OBS comes with a converter, so you can convert your FLV to MP4. It's very convenient, and it's oddly enough, it's the same thing. Just different ways to how to save it. Audio, you don't have to touch it unless you're adding mics and everything else to it. The only thing you got to change might be your sample rate. It's only 2 things, and you can easily find that out in your down at the bottom, which is your speaker and headphones, and go to mixer, and go to whatever device that is producing the audio sound. And right here, and go to advanced, and wherever it's set to, that's going to be where you're going to set your sample rate to. As long as these two match up, then you're going to have good sound quality, or at least they can hear you. And then of course video. And see here, remember we did the beta one, talk about our canvas. Here it is again. And we can change it up accordingly. And like I said, when we change it up, this will change sizes and of course quality as well. But you don't have to really change anything if you did the other way. If you did do it this way, that's cool. It's where you need to go and you need to change something up. And then you got your hotkeys. Your hotkey can be your best friend. All you gotta do is say hit this button, and this button will cause it to start or cause it to stop the stream, cause delays and buffering, whatever you needed to do. That's what these hotkeys are for. And come in handy if you're going to be more advanced and you just want to hit 1 click or 2 or 3 different type of clicks to do different things. And especially as you're doing it by yourself and you don't have somebody to do the clicking for you to do the transitions and everything else. Then here on the advanced is don't touch. Don't touch your advanced unless you really, really know what you're doing. This is what I was talking about earlier. If you mess up, you can easily mess up, especially in the advanced setting. You don't know what you did or what you changed to, and this will cause your video not to stream or record correctly, or what have you, or may not do it neither. So this is where you might have to uninstall, reinstall, this so your advanced settings go back to normal. So I said don't mess with your advanced settings unless you know what you are doing. And we said no, I don't want to say nothing I changed. And that's pretty much OBS per se. Like I said, you got your scenes. You can add more than one scene. You can also rename it, as you saw earlier. So I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to name it as background. So this is going to be my background scene. Then I got to add source. What my source going to be, where it's coming from. And I'm going to choose display capture. And I'm going to say yes on that one. As you can see, now it's just capturing this display, and I get a crazy effect going on. Okay. But I'm going to tell it to capture. No, I'm going to say leave it as this. Let me say okay. So, what it's capturing right now is the other OBS I have open. So, as you can see, this is my front home screen. If I bring up the other OBS, oops, let's see, let's do this. I don't think you guys can see it though. If I bring up the other OBS on my other screen, like this one, you get the same effect because this one is just capturing display 2 or monitor 2. And this is one way to avoid the infamous screen. Even though it's pretty cool, but it can slow down your recording, your live screen, because using a lot more power and processing power just to keep up with it. So it's best to have a second monitor to be your main focus on, or your game, or what have you. Unless you're just doing a, let's see, I doubt it would do it. Video capture device. This is my webcam, but it shouldn't work because I already got the webcam on the other one. So therefore we won't see anything. But if I do, let's see, media source. Yeah, if I do media source, I can capture videos I have already done or other videos. Oop, I deleted those. Yeah, so I can open this one, say okay, and now here's me and Jeremy from last time we did our video together. And earlier I talked about the snippets. This is what I was talking about. I can snip it around. I can add my display in the background. I can change the size of it if I want to. Or I can put that on front of it as well, so I can put a layer. And this minus button right here, so yeah, you can see it. Allows me to delete the source. So like so you can see this, but the other end you can't see because I'm not touching it unless I go over here. You can see everything again. I'm going to turn this off. I can turn these back on and off. That's how I disappeared earlier. I turned the video capture card off. You can also rename it if you need to according to what you're doing. And oh, I know. I'll add transitions real quick. which is pretty easy. First, I need to add a source so we can see. I'm going to do images. And downloads. We do this one. Cutting with fabric. So we'll have this nice little image. Then we'll go to background. And I'm going to add one more source. Choose browser source. Say OK. And normally it'll be the first. This will be what you're going to get, but you can also change it if you need to. Like I can change this to google.com and say OK. And now I got Google. And I can also interact with Google, actually. Interact. So now I can interact with Google. The web browser, I can say Fire. As you can see, it's working just like as I was on Google. I can get out of it, leave it at that. So now I got two scenes. So if I go back and forth, you can see it's doing like a type of fade, because that's what we have going on. I can do a cut, and now it's like doing a sharp cut. I can go back to fade, and I can add to, say, a swipe. And say, okay, I want to swipe up. Swipe in or off, say okay. So now it's just swipe up when I go to the next scene. And I can change the duration of it, so I'm going to do it as 6. And now when I change it now, it should go on the slow side. Or I can add another 1. That's pretty long. And that's how you do your screen transitions. And of course you can delete it or remove this ones you just add. Or say you can add other ones. It's all up to you. What you want to add, what you want to do or use. Then this setting button highlighted, I can hit on this and go into this, back to the settings for it and change up if I need something to change up, which is coming handy. But this is OBS, and this is what we're going to be using to do our future videos, hopefully. And one day soon we'll start doing live stream over it. We may do a different type of event. We may have to involve the computer or do something similar to like we did today. But like I said, you guys going to have access of these PDFs. And like I said, they're all stuff that I have said or talked about. They go in more in depth than what I have said. But I got these all from the OBS website. The person who made this resource's name is the author Jack Orr. So you gotta give them credit because I'm using their stuff, and it's really good stuff. Like especially like drop frame rates, and just tell you why, what could cost can drop frame rates. Streaming outline, so you like to stream, and these are set up where you can actually go to the website from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch to get your guidelines of how to do, what your bit rate, what your requirements need to be, and everything else. So I try to give you as much information that you guys can figure out on your own and be able to be experts. And especially in YouTube, YouTube kind of changed things. So this may be a little different as YouTube ever changed their stuff. If they do, of course, we'll try to update it. but they tell you step by step how to do at least YouTube. Because YouTube's a little bit trickier, but Twitch is pretty straightforward. Twitter is kind of straightforward, and Facebook is really straightforward. And then this one will give you more in depth about your settings and your sounds. And I know I didn't go over as much about the sounds, but I'm not using high-end sound type equipment. I'm using a microphone off the laptop. So this is good information for those who are wanting good quality sound, because they're using high-end mics and stuff to record probably music and everything else. I know, especially music, because you want a good quality mic that can pick up that sound to get that exact detail. Now there should be a lot more how-tos on OBS website. If you really need a video format like we did today, you can more likely find a YouTuber going over it. Just keep in mind they may talk more about going more in depth in things, they may not. So it's always a good thing to do is just do a lot of research yourself the best as you can. That way, if somebody do go over something you do not know, you're like, yes, something new. That's OBS, and hope you guys like this mini section. We're going to try to do a lot more of these. So I will have a link down below of how to get to all the PDF files or Word files that you want to use as reference. And also there will be a questionnaire that you may encourage you guys to take. That way I know, are these videos helpful? We need to know, is it something you guys want us to keep doing? Or is it something that's you like, but you don't like the way we're doing it? Give us some suggestions, critique a little bit, say, hey, this didn't sound right, or hey, you messed up on this section right here. Just give us feedback. And we're gladly trying to fix it and make it better. This is something we want to do for you guys. We want something good and grand and something great that you guys can have and have reference to, and hopefully share and help somebody who is looking for something similar or to what it is. Because OBS is not the only application that does this. There's a lot more out there. With that, I bid you guys a good day and hope to see you guys next time.